Hi there, I'm out walking in the woods. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Galway in Ireland. It looks like the summer has just about arrived to save us all from too much of darkness and depression here with the Irish autumn and winter weather. Now today I'm going to have a little chat to you about biofeedback and what it means and how to start incorporating more of it in your life. Biofeedback is the sensory information that your body gives to you about many variables in the environment. This intelligence comes through feeling and sensation. So I'll give you a very simple example. I eat a meal and I take my time eating it and I relax, and then after a certain point in time my body will give me a sense of fullness. And that sense of fullness tells me I have enough, I'm satiated, I don't need to eat anymore. Another example might be I am working all day long, working hard, training, doing my exercise, and then at a certain point in the evening I feel tired. And if I listen to that sensation of being tired, I'll start to wind down my activities, my working activities, and shortly thereafter I will go to bed and rest and recover. So those are two very, very simple examples of biofeedback. Listening to the signals that your body is giving you and responding accordingly. So this type of intelligence is a specific intelligence coming from the body communicating to you. Now there's other types of intelligence, and one of the classic types of intelligence that we use an awful lot in the Western world is coming from the mind. Those types of intelligences could be loosely derived into two broad categories: the thinking mind and the working mind. So the working mind is based on learned experience, based through studying, based through knowledge, based on scientific evidence. That would be the working mind. The thinking mind would be information that you're getting from your mind that's more of a psychological nature. Oh my God, I better turn in this document to my boss because otherwise he or she's going to kill me. I better get it in on time. So that would be an example of the thinking mind. It's all of the psychological stuff, all of the little voice in the head that's creating an ongoing commentary about what's going on in our lives. The working mind is certainly very useful. The thinking mind very much less so. Now, going back to the biofeedback, why is this important? Well, it's important because you as a physiological entity are absolutely unique. There is nobody quite like you. And your body is unique biochemically. It's unique to many degrees biomechanically. You have a unique personality and just way of being in the world. And you have unique needs and unique responses to your environment and unique responses to the foods that you're eating. So if you were to base your nutritional requirements solely on intellectual intelligence based on the science of nutrition, you could come short in that equation. So what might prevent us from utilizing this biofeedback? Okay, one of the things would be an over-reliance on the working mind, an over-reliance on the scientific evidence that we are getting in society. I don't know about you, but the amount of information out there in the world today about nutrition is mind-boggling. And I study it full-time for my work, and it can get overwhelming at times. So I wonder what it's like for the general public. You know, one minute you should be, a paleo person. The next minute you're thinking, oh my God, I should do vegan. And then you're thinking you should be a raw juice type of a person. So that's the working mind is going to be thrown into a little bit of a conundrum there. What is the most intelligent way for me to choose? Well, if you start listening to your biofeedback, then that is going to give you much better information. You can see how you respond to your meals based on your level of satiety, based on your mood after eating the meals, based on your energy levels. So when you start tuning into how you feel after you eat, that's going to let you know pretty quickly, if I have that vegan smoothie shake and I'm friggin' starving, 30 minutes later, maybe that's not the most optimal for my body. Or you eat another concoction and you get terrible indigestion shortly afterwards. Again, that's the body giving you incredible biofeedback. The problem with biofeedback is many people do not have access to their biofeedback. And the reason is that they are living in their heads due to an over focus on that thinking mind or that psychological mind, and an overproduction, of course, of our old friend stress. When you are very, very stressed, and the thinking mind can generate a lot of, stress, then you no longer, you essentially cut off the feedback, the biofeedback you're getting from your body. So let's say you're very, very highly stressed, you've got a very, very busy day, and your thinking mind is mulling over all of these potential dramatic and terrible outcome scenarios. When that happens, you can no longer feel the sensations in your body. It's a classic case of living in your head. So if I eat that meal and I'm still living in my head, I'm all over aroused in my sympathetic nervous system, then I'm not really sure if I am full. I have no clue what I would really desire to eat, and we might eat past the point of fullness. And in the case of tuning into our body's need for rest, we've done a busy day's work, we're actually quite tired, and we're not actually feeling that tiredness because we decided that we needed to get more done, and we had an extra cup of coffee maybe late in the afternoon when we don't really need it, and then we're jacked up on stress hormones and cortisol again, and we don't feel quote unquote tired, but we've got this fake energy running in the system. And when that happens, you can't actually feel the biofeedback of, oh, I am actually tired. So tuning into your biofeedback involves essentially a return to the body, a less over-reliance on all of the intellectual knowledge that we're bombarded with daily. Because if you're constantly mulling over scientific research, the latest reports on what we should and shouldn't be eating, then you are cutting yourself off from the individual intelligence, the unique intelligence of your own body. And if you're running on stress hormones, you're in that sympathetic state all of the time, you're so cranked up and jacked up, you're not relaxed enough to feel the biofeedback of your body. You have to be relaxed to be present in your body. When you are relaxed and at ease, you can all of a sudden start to feel the sensations in your body. It's quite mesmerizing to me when I'm beginning to train a new client, and we will start off and, do a given exercise, and I'll ask them, can they feel, XYZ muscle working? And invariably the answer, a lot of the time is no, I have no clue what muscles are working. Now, up to a point, that's fine and normal, because of course we need time to learn new skills, and we're not going to get everything straight away. But a lot of the time, what's really going on is not so much that this exercise is new or this experience is new. What's really going on a lot of the time is that person has been very, very disconnected from their body for a long, long time. Now, if we were connected to our bodies, listening to our biofeedback, we can hear the slightest whisper that the body gives us. That slight little whisper might be nudging you to go to bed a little bit earlier. That little whisper might be nudging you just to stop eating and maybe pass on the dessert. And if we cannot hear those little whispers, then what happens is the body starts talking to us louder and louder and louder. And if we keep avoiding hearing the signals, then the body moves into that screaming mode. It's going to shout at us, and it will shout in the form of pain, in the form of a lot of excess weight, in the form of many different types of illnesses. So tuning into your biofeedback is an absolute must. It's not just some sort of a new age idea. Your body is unique. There's going to be no textbook that's going to be able to tell you, that you need, to rest now. You need to cut out this food because it's not agreeing with you now. You've got to learn that based on experience and based on tuning into yourself. And unfortunately, a lot of people do not want to tune into themselves, because once they start tuning into that biofeedback, all of the other feelings and sensations that are stored in the body will also come to the surface. All of the toxic thoughts, all of the toxic feelings, all of the toxic beliefs that we've shoved into the cells of our body, into our fascia, well, that's going to start coming up to the surface as well. And we want to avoid that like the plague. But on the other side of all of those intense feelings and emotions and traumatic memories is a space where the healing can occur. So my recommendation to you today is to start slowing things down, start tuning in more. A lot of people are trying mindfulness now for this very purpose. And I think the term mindfulness is very unfortunate, because it's not the mind that we're trying to get into. It's actually the body. So bodyfulness or embodiment, I feel, would be a much more appropriate term. We want to get away from that working and especially that thinking mind and move more into the feeling and sensation universe, where the unique intelligence of the body is coming through. And what is required for your body is absolutely unique to you in any given moment. So if you do not start listening to this intelligence, then your journey of healing is going to be a lot longer and an awful lot more difficult. And what happens is a lot of people then turn to other systems and gurus and methodologies because they want to avoid the intelligence that's already available through themselves. So take that under consideration if you would like, and think of ways that you can start listening to your own biofeedback. It could be as simple as not hanging out with certain people who you don't feel good around, who you feel heavy around and restrictive around. It could be as simple as, passing on a certain food that reliably gives you indigestion, even though the nutritional textbook says it is, packed full of nutrients and it's the latest and greatest superfood. It could be as simple as going to bed when you feel tired and, listening to the signals that your body is giving to you. So this is Claire Rooney from clairerooney.com. I hope you enjoy this video, and we'll see you next time.